we are going to talk about brands. But before we do, I want to show you something real quick. This is a remote, and you'll see the number 6 on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 windows, and number 6 means operate all. So I had a comment on my last video from one of my subscribers, and they said, if I was you, I would feel like somebody was watching me with all of those windows. So first, I want you to watch this. So in this video, you're seeing first my dogs. You're seeing my dogs coming in the dog door, but I want to zoom out here so you can see the fence that I had put up, so you can only see the rooftops of those homes. So notice you only see the rooftops, you do not see the actual windows of the home. So that's what I did first. And then next I did this. So I'm going to hit the down button. I know that sound probably is not very ASMR friendly, but it won't last long. They do go all the way down, so that's how I have privacy if I want privacy, but really nobody can see it. But if I need absolute privacy, or if I need if the sun is bothering me, like if it's a really hot day, then I'll close them because the sun's not shining in here and making it real bright. Almost there, I hope. Oh wait, there we go. That's it. So there's absolute privacy. Now that doesn't do anything for the doors, but I used to have glass that had blinds inside the glass. I recently had them changed. I'm still trying to figure out what I can do there, but I really don't worry about privacy on this side. Because again, I have that fence, and I'm not worried about anybody coming through. If somebody did, my dogs are very sensitive to noise, so they would hear something and they would rush out the door and start barking. So anyway, there's the answer to that. Now, on to the topic of tonight, which is brands. So the title of the video is, do you want to look rich or do you want to be rich? Because those are two different things, I believe. Because so many people, I think, get caught up in what other people think. Now, I don't want to offend anybody here because I know I have a good friend, a good subscriber that drives BMWs. He lives on the West Coast, and he drives older BMWs because he likes them. He doesn't care that it's a luxury brand. He's not trying to buy like $100,000 BMW, but he really likes the older ones, and he tunes them, and so that's what he likes. So that's different. I get that. But a lot of people are out there paying premium prices for like Mercedes and BMW cars. One, they're very expensive to maintain. If something breaks, they're horribly expensive to fix. They're not as reliable as like Japanese brands like Honda and Toyota, Subaru. Those are like the most, I think, the most dependable cars, and I think the smartest cars to drive because they're the cheapest cars to maintain. They are unbelievably reliable. They get great gas mileage, and it's just a smart choice. And really, if you think about it like this, you're driving down the road and you pass a car you think is cool. Is that person looking at you? They're not thinking about you. You pull up to the stoplight next to a car, you see, oh my God, there's an expensive car. Are they really looking at you? No, does it really matter? It doesn't. men might think women are attracted to an expensive car, and maybe they are, but you have to ask yourself, is that what you really want? Do you want a woman that wants to be with you because of your car? Because what I have found, because I worked at dealerships for a long time, and I would have people bring in those cars, Mercedes, BMWs, and trade them in for Toyotas once they finally got an education about what those cars cost to fix and how much they cost and how much they depreciate. You know, like if you buy a Mercedes for $80,000, drive it 1 year and bring it back, it's worth probably $50,000. It lost $30,000 in price. If you could have bought a car for that and kept it and owned it with no payment, with the money you lost on just 1 year of depreciation on some of that luxury stuff. So that's a big reason why not to do it. Nothing depreciates faster than a luxury brand. That's the truth. And why is that? Well, part of it is because they're so expensive to fix, but the big reason is because, think about it this way, if it's $80,000 to buy a brand new car and it's $75,000 to buy a 1-year-old car with 20,000 miles or 15,000 miles, what would you buy? I'd buy the $80,000 brand new car with no miles and no scratches and no dirty carpet. This one's used. So there has to be a big separation between the price, or people will just buy the new, especially people that are pretentious and they want to say, oh, I bought a brand new, I didn't buy a used car. If they're worried about the brand, they're worried if it's used or not. Okay, so that covers like cars. Now, something totally different is if you've got $50 million and you buy a $1 million Ferrari. Okay, it didn't faze you. You paid cash for it. You're not paying payments. You've got tons of money. It doesn't matter. That's one thing. I don't fault those people, the NBA stars and the Hollywood people driving $1 million cars. Okay, they're doing it because they can. Where a lot of people are going into debt and running their chances of financial freedom because they want it today. There's something called delayed gratification, which means putting off till later to get your desires. And if you do that, the money you can save, the money you invest will inevitably end up paying for the item you want later. Now, again, sometimes it's painful not to have it today, but if you can wait, you can get it. So again, I'm not saying there's not a day and a time for that. What I'm saying is you need to put it off. You don't go into debt for it. The same is true for like purses, and this is for women, which, by the way, I looked at my analytics today. My channel is 74% men, 26% women. So for the ladies that are watching this, thank you. You're the minority that support me. I have mostly men, and obviously I speak mainly about topics that might be interesting to them. So I'm sorry if you feel cheated maybe on some of my topics, but of course I'm a guy, so maybe you're getting good insight into the thinking of a male mind. But thank you for being here. But purses, ladies, come on, $2,500 for a bag, Louis Vuitton. It's unbelievable what some of these things cost. And again, why? I mean, a $50 bag will hold the same items as the $2,500 ones. It isn't because it's better, and you know it's not better. Now, it might be a little bit more premium leather, but doesn't matter. Does it function differently? No, it doesn't. And I just don't know why people do it. It's like this shirt I have on, there's not a name brand on it. There's nothing to advertise. But if it had a name like Polo or something, it would have cost 3 or 4 times the amount of money. And would it be better? No. but it would have a little horsey on it, and maybe somebody might go, ooh, there's a horsey. Does somebody really care? I mean, really, would you care? Do you look at me differently because I don't have a little horse on my t-shirt? Or someone, I don't even know, like, I have not kept up on what brands are cool, so I may sound ancient talking about this, but it's the same. Just fill in the blank with the brand that comes to mind when you think of, like, luxury t-shirts. Can't even believe there's such a thing as luxury t-shirts. But there are, I'm sure. I had a friend of mine that bought a Gucci belt, and it was $500, and it had this, like, gaudy, like GG, or it was like a G in a back with the Gucci logo. And I thought, well, why on earth would you pay and he wore it every single day, and he was like wearing it with like wrinkled pants, and but he wanted to advertise that he was wearing a Gucci belt. It made him feel good, and so there's part of that where just like, why did it make him feel good? Why? What was it about wearing it that made him feel good? It made him feel good to be showing that he was wearing a $500 belt. Now, most people that came into contact with him probably didn't know it was $500. Now, people that know the brand would know, but did they look at him and say, you got wrinkled pants on and you're wearing a Gucci belt? They probably looked at him and said, that's a knockoff. It was not a knockoff. He paid $500 for a real Gucci belt. But again, he could have got a $25 belt that did the same thing, hold his wrinkled pants up. So I think it's much better for him to present himself with clean ironed, non-branded pants, with a clean, non-branded shirt, with just a no-name belt. That his presentation would have been better to the clients that he was trying to win over, without trying to be flashy. Same with like watches. I'm like, I don't even wear a watch because my phone has the time on it. When I need to know what time it is, I look at my phone. I don't wear a watch. I don't wear any jewelry. I have no rings, no bracelets, no necklaces. I've always felt like men wearing jewelry was like feminine. I don't know why men wear jewelry. I get like men wearing a wedding ring to show that they're married. And I get wearing a watch. I do, because some people like the Apple Watch, the smart watches. I get it. You want to see your messages. You don't have to grab your phone. I get that. Or like it's monitoring your health or whatever. I get it. So I'm not criticizing people that do, but I'm just saying, you're spending money to put something around your neck. Why? Do you think people look at you differently if you have something around your neck? They don't. And if they do, they're either looking, oh, look at that skinny chain. They might be judging the chain. They might look at you worse because it's not thick enough or it doesn't look expensive enough, So I think it does completely the opposite. But I think people get caught up in it. They get caught up in being self-conscious about what other people think about them. I got this comment recently. I forgot to get this out because I made a note about it. Let me get this out. Let's see if I can find this. Yes, they said, could you talk about people that obsess over looks, hair loss, self-confidence, self-worth? So I think all of this kind of goes into that. If you're obsessing over your looks, I think a lot of that is what brands do. I think brands take advantage of people's self-consciousness. They're self-conscious, or they lack self-esteem, and these brands believe that if they can give you that by giving luxury image. But I believe that those extreme things, like $2,500 for a handbag, that should be just for people. The rich people should be able to have that, and not have people that can't have that. Should be something they get. They've earned the right to have that. But yet somebody who's struggling to make a living and struggling to pay their bills and going into debt and putting that on a credit card just so they can feel better, I think it's detrimental to people's financial health. And I think that there's power in, like, it seems to me like the way I've gotten is the more money I get, the less I want to show it off. I don't want people knowing that I have money. I don't want to be a target, you know. I always wanted a Ferrari, and now that I can afford one, I don't even want one. But when I couldn't have one, I always wanted one, and I felt like one day I'll get one. And you know what? Maybe one day when I'm an old man, I might want to throw money away. I don't know, but I look at that. I think if I had one, I would be like stressed out and worried. Not only that, I'd have to spend all the money on it, and then I'd have to insure it and pay the license plates and things that would be so expensive. And I feel better just having the money as a security blanket, so that I know I never have to do a job I don't want to do again. There's freedom in that, and I don't think any brand is worth what financial freedom is worth. If you want real self-confidence and you want real self-esteem, have enough money that you don't have to do any job ever again. Have a house paid for and have your cars paid for, because I guarantee you 99% of the Mercedes or Lexus or BMWs or Porsches or Corvettes or anything, think about the car that your dream car, if you pull up next to it, 99% of them have a car payment. So they don't even own it, the bank owns it. And I believe there's a small movement gathering momentum where these brands are losing their luster because people are catching on. It's called, look up a couple terms: stealth wealth and quiet luxury. Quiet luxury, stealth wealth. And I feel like that's what I've done. Like I'm not filthy rich. I don't have $100 million, but I have enough that I can buy a lot more than I have. But again, it's like there's so much security in just knowing that I've built up enough wealth that I could do it. But I don't want to do it because the other thing is that money compounds. And I think about all the good things now that I can do to help people, the things that I've been able to do, like buy my mom a new car, pay off my brother's house, pay for my sister to go to massage school. I would have never been able to do any of those things if I was living all the way to my own personal means. Buying me a luxury car or wearing just luxury clothing and luxury brands. You know, buying a bigger house just because I want to show off, and my house isn't on the water, but like the most expensive houses in the town I live in, there's 2 big reservoirs, and the most expensive homes and the most pretentious people live on those reservoirs, because all the houses that are on that water, they buy boats and they're multi-million-dollar homes. I could go buy one of those and live there with those people, but I don't want to. I like being out here off the beaten path with all my animals, my critters, and me. You know, I can go to the grocery and I don't look at what anything costs. I just go buy what I want. You know, those are the things that I do that might be considered splurging. You know, instead of buying the cheapest ground beef I make sure I buy grass-fed for me to eat its flesh. At least I know I had a decent life. Same with eggs. I want free-range eggs. The eggs I buy are called Happy Eggs, and it says they live on 60 acres. So I get to, know that at least these eggs, these chickens are living a halfway decent life, even though they're egg layers. They're going to lay the eggs anyway, but at least they're not in cages. And that's the kind of stuff that I will do to spend a little extra money, where I can feel like I'm making an impact in the world, rather than just buying the brand. Why? Because you've got two bags, they look the same. One is Louis Vuitton and one is $2,500 versus $50. Or a belt, one's $25, one's $500. They both do the exact same thing. Or a shirt, one is $19 and one is $119. They both look the same, except one has a horse on it. Why? I'm not gonna do it. It doesn't make any sense. It brings me no sense of satisfaction. And the only to impress somebody else. There's a saying. Let me look this up. I can't believe I can't think of exactly what it is, but it's something like people spend money they don't have to impress people they don't like. I think that's what it says. People spend money they don't have. Let me see it. Let's see. Too many people spend money they have earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want to impress people they don't like. It's true. And the people that you think you're impressing, they're not. And even if they are impressed, they're probably envious, and so it makes them hate you. It makes them want to. It's not gonna make them your friends. That's what I've came to realize. It's like I was caught up in it when I was younger. I wanted to impress people. I wanted people to notice me. But that's being noticed for all the wrong things, and plus it's hurting you. It's hurting your future, and it means nothing. The people you want to impress won't be impressed by those things. That's the truth. The only people that will be impressed by that are more broke people that are doing the same thing, buying things they can't afford to impress people they don't even like, and they don't like you. So it's something I'm sensitive about, because I know it hurts people, and I hate that these brands, like he's one of the guy that owns Louis Vuitton is one of the richest men in America, or in the world. So it's so hard to become financially independent, and it takes so much effort. And if we don't have the margins to make those types of mistakes. And I really believe, like, maybe you truly like it and it's the only item that looks like that and you really want it, then make it one of your wish lists that you think about. Put it on your goals that one of these days I'm going to be able to write a check for that, but I'm not going to write a check until my car is paid for, until my credit cards are paid off, until I have a house that I at least only owe half its value on, or whatever. Something that is a very tangible goal that you're not going to do it until you're definitely financially sound. We just shouldn't do it. So I hope this helps you. I hope you understand that it doesn't impress the people that you really want to impress. The people you want to impress are the people that can give you promotions in your jobs, or give you a better job than the job you have now. People that pretty much are already rich and are in positions of power. They're the people that you want to impress, because they're the people that can help you in your career, help you make more money, and those people won't won't be impressed by luxury brands. They won't. They won't even notice it. It doesn't matter if you wear it or not. They won't care. Or maybe they will, and they'll be judgmental about it because they know it's not what you should be doing. So that's the way I feel. And I know there's a lot of people that feel the way I do, that have got themselves to the level that I am at. So anyway, I appreciate you listening to my little tangent. I hope you at least will think about it. And I will see you on the next one. And if you are new here, please subscribe. And if you would, please hit the thumbs up for me. And I will see you on the next one. Good night.